Hello, and welcome to Love Life with Court. As always, I'm your host, Courtney Irving, and if this is your first time tuning into the pod, well, welcome, and if not, here's a warm welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about something that I feel is very fitting for the holidays, the new year, our productivity, achieving our goals, and that is time management. What sparked this concept or this topic and why I wanted to talk about it is I've seen all over like TikTok, Instagram, everywhere, ADHD has become such a common topic. And for those of you who don't know, when I was 13 years old, I had what I would say is a late diagnosis because there was definitely a lot of signs growing up, and I was diagnosed with ADHD. I was put on medication, which did not work for me, to each their own, but it just was not helping me or benefiting me being on medication. So I had to really take a lot of time to figure out good coping mechanisms, good strategies, and just build what I call my ADHD toolbox. For some people, they may not require a lot of tools in their toolbox to become the person they want to be, but for me, I definitely had to fill in my toolbox. I had to upgrade. I had to get a bigger toolbox along the way. But now I have this huge toolbox that I can share with others and I can lend out my tools. And that's why I wanted to talk about time management today. I feel like ADHD has become such a common topic on a bunch of different social media platforms. I see it all over TikTok, all over Instagram. And with the new year coming, I wanted to focus on time management because that was definitely something that I struggled with for a long time. And I want to give you 5 tools from my toolbox to mastering your day, which all stem from time management. We're going to dive right in today, and step 1 is taking 5 to 10 minutes at the start of each day to write down what you need to get done. If we're not taking the time to write down what we need to get done in the day, what happens is we actually spend more time thinking about what we need to get done as opposed to taking the time to write it down. So it may take us 5 to 10 minutes to just write down what are my priorities today and what do I need to get done. Or we're spending maybe an accumulative of 25, 30 minutes throughout the day feeling lost, unsure what to do next, taking breaks because you're overwhelmed and overstimulated. So the first thing, really simple, is just taking those 5 to 10 minutes and write down what your intentions are for that day. What do you need to get done to feel satisfied and productive and properly manage your time? So second step, or our second tool in our toolbox when it comes to time management, is seeing time by externalizing it. Whether you use a paper or an electronic schedule, the more you pay attention to it, the better it works. And if you have a lot of items in your schedule, setting reminders and alarms to help you stay on track and getting rid of low priority alerts so the important ones stand out. And even if you aren't perfect about consulting your schedule, having one is better than winging it from memory. And this is where we go back to that step 1, is taking that time to write it down. So if it's taking more than 5 to 10 minutes to write down what you need to get done in the day, it's likely that you're overcompensating and you're not making a schedule for yourself and a list of priorities for yourself that is practical. And this ties into step number 3, which is creating a practical schedule that is easy to achieve and an additional list that is full of non-priority tasks that you can complete once the initial tasks are completed. Something that helps me is I'll have a weekly schedule. So in my notes on my phone, I don't have anything fancy. I've tried the scheduling builder apps and they're just not for me. It takes too much time. I get overwhelmed and I end up not following through with what's on it. So I just have notes on my phone. I have one note that is labeled this week, and I'll change it every week. It has Monday to Sunday. And then I also have another note that is to do. What helps me is I can take some stuff from my to-do list, and these are non-priority things that I have put on the back burner, but I want to get done. And that could be things like vacuuming your car, cleaning your jackets, cleaning your white shoes, vacuuming the house, going to buy or purchase or pick up something that you have been waiting to do. Something that is not priority, that is not influencing your life and your productivity. So all those things on my to-do list, if I have time, what I'll do first is build my this week note. So I'll have Monday to Sunday, everything that I need to get done. Maybe I'll tweak it daily as well. Sometimes I'll just start with Monday and Tuesday, and then on Tuesday I'll do Wednesday and Thursday and so forth. But I'll also take some things from that non-priority list and add it if I'm able to. So I make something that is practical. I put all my priorities first, and then I add things that are not priority. What I like to say is making it so simple. Make your priority list so simple that it's hard to not achieve, and then if you have time, inputting those non-priorities into your to-do list. So number 3, create a practical schedule that is easy, have an additional list full of non-priority tasks, and also incorporate the concept of time blocking. Now, time blocking is just a time management method. We've all used it. Even in elementary school, we've used it when we have recess at certain times and math at certain times. And all it is dividing your day into blocks of time. This helps with time blindness, what I referred to earlier, as it helps me know, okay, when am I overcompensating some tasks, doing too much, and not allowing enough time for the other tasks I need to get done. So you're kind of self-monitoring yourself, so that you're able to stay consistent and productive in getting the tasks that you need to get done within a timely manner. And that also helps with removing any distractions, having that time blocking and making time where you're taking breaks. And that aligns with tool number 4. And this one is a lot simpler than it sounds, but removing distractions. Some ways you can remove distractions are things like designating a dedicated workspace, making sure that where you are working, there are limited distractions and you're in an environment that you can succeed. I talk about this a lot in my previous episodes, is creating an environment where you can succeed, creating an environment where you can let go of certain emotions and feel emotions. Cultivating environments where we are able to do the tasks that we intend has so much more influence on our productivity and our end goal. So making sure that whatever you're trying to do in terms of time management, have an environment that's established for you to succeed. Number 2, with removing distractions, is putting your devices on do not disturb. Something that we all forget to do very often, but is a huge distraction, is having our phone next to us. And as soon as we hear that ding, then our attention's on the phone. And when we do the time blocking, if you feel like you might miss a text, well, make time in your day where you have 5 to 10 minutes to check your notifications, get some water, whatever you need to do. So you're not feeling distracted. Because even when it comes to going to get water, you might get in the kitchen, notice that there's dishes in the sink, and you got to clean the kitchen. But if you have that in your time block day, then you know that, okay, no, I'm staying focused. This is what I need to do. And that is another example of removing distractions, is scheduling breaks. And number 4 of removing distractions is limiting multitasking. And we all know what multitasking is. It's when we're trying to do a bunch of stuff at once. And what we want to do to really ensure that we are managing our time appropriately is focusing on one task at a time to improve overall efficiency. So removing distractions, again, designate a dedicated workspace, put your devices on do not disturb, schedule breaks, and limit multitasking. That last one is a big one. So our last tool of the day for when it comes to mastering our day in terms of time management is prioritizing. And I want to introduce to you a great tool you can use when it comes to prioritizing, which is using the Eisenhower Matrix. Now, you can definitely take the time to learn more of the Eisenhower Matrix, which is termed the Eisenhower Decision Matrix as well. But essentially, I'm just going to summarize it for you. It's a way for us to effectively prioritize, ensure that we are managing our time appropriately, and getting the shit done that we need to get done, essentially. Now, it's split into 4 categories. First one is do. Second one is decide. Third one is delegate, and last one is delete. So when it comes to our biggest priority, it's the do it now. And this is both important and urgent. Our next one is decide. So this is schedule a time to do it. And this one is important, but not urgent. Then we have delegate. And this one is not important, but urgent. And it's who can do it for you. and then delete. And this one is not important and not urgent. So again, I'll summarize for them. We have do, which is do it now. This is important and urgent. Decide, which is schedule a time to do it. And this one is not urgent but important. Then delegate, which is urgent but not important. So thinking about who can do it now, who is someone that I can ask to help me out. And then we have not urgent and not important, which is termed as delete, and that's eliminate it. Now, if you can incorporate this in your day-to-day when you're making that 5 to 10 minute task summary of what you need to get done in the day, and think about what are things that I need to do now? What are things that I need to schedule for a time to do? What are things that I need to delegate? There's some tasks that we think that we need to do it, but there's probably someone in your household or someone that you know that can help you with it and essentially allow you to prioritize those important and urgent tasks. And then we have delete it. We have things, so many things that we do in our day-to-day that we can just get rid of. We can eliminate it. We can say arrivederci to those tasks. What I like to say is sometimes doing less is doing more. So I hope that made sense. Definitely take some more time to learn more about the Eisenhower Decision Matrix if it's something that you're interested in. And I want to give one more bonus. I know we said just 5 tools to mastering our day when it comes to time management, but this is for the women out there. I'm going to give you one more bonus tool that you can put in your toolbox that I have recently begun to really fall in love with, which is using our monthly cycle to optimize our productivity. So what I mean by that is, so during our ovulation, as well as the time between our period and our ovulation, which is referred to as the follicular stage or the follicular phase, this is when we are most productive. When we wake up every day feeling like a bad bitch from the inside and out, use that time to get done all of the priority and the non-priority tasks. So really optimize your day, get done what you need to get done, and take those other things that are on your to-do list, that are on our non-priority tasks, and also get those done. And when you're in the luteal phase and when you have your period, so that's the time before your period, after ovulation, and during your period, you can just ensure that you're keeping up with your priority tasks, but you're also ahead on so many other things. So that is something that I've really been loving lately, is tracking my cycle. I use an app called Stardust, not an advertisement whatsoever, but if you're looking for a good app that tracks your cycle and keeps you updated on which phase you're in, Stardust is a great app. And it also has a great spiritual side. It lets you know which witch you are. I'm a white witch, so if you download the app, tell me which witch you are as well. So that was today's show. We talked about time management and 5 tools that we can put in our toolbox to really optimize our productivity, which includes taking that 5 to 10 minutes at the start of each day to write down what you need to get done. Number 2 is seeing time by externalizing it. So having schedules, writing things down, and that ties back into number 1. Number 3 is creating a practical schedule that is easy to achieve and have an additional list that is full of non-priority tasks. Number 4, remove any distractions, and this includes things like designating a dedicated workspace, put your devices on Do Not Disturb, schedule breaks, and limit multitasking. And the last tool is prioritizing and using things like the Eisenhower Matrix, and a little bonus for the women, using our cycle to our advantage and optimizing the times where we are most productive, which is during the ovulation and the follicular stage. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but I hope I am. Anyway, thank you all for joining. I appreciate you all listening. If you enjoyed today's podcast, don't forget to give it a share so that we can reach more people and really build our community of positivity and love. I love talking to you guys all today, and I love you all. There's lots of love all around. And if you're tuning into this during the holidays, I hope you all have a very happy holiday.